Grove Sessions.
Yes, sir.
And we got Dante Primo, aka Primo Beats, in the building.
Yeah.
Super grateful to have you here, man. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And for anyone that doesn't know, Primo has been one of the hardest working and most prolific producers in Michigan over the past few years. He's landed placements with Riff Raff, Swainoh, Gmaccash, Cash Kid, Icewear Vezzo, Peezy, Neisha Neshae, ATM Krown, Babytron, Trdee, Stan Will, and many, many others. So we are just so grateful to have you here, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. We always just like to start, with the beginnings and like, how did you first get into music?
I mean, both my parents were working musicians when I was a kid. That's how they made a living, doing gigs and stuff. So I was always around music. And, as I grew older, I joined choir and then band, started playing in bands, started producing.
That's dope.
It's always just been a part of what I do.
What instrument did you play in band?
A couple. I had a recorder, and then I got a clarinet.
Hell yeah.
And then I was stuck on alto sax until I switched over to bass guitar.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I used to play fucking trombone in band.
Ah, trombone?
Yeah. How do you I feel like playing in band must have given me like a good base of, knowledge and feeling and ear to like be a producer. Like, do you think that has helped you in your pursuits later in life?
Honestly, yes and no. It kept me musically active, but in terms of how I technically operate, no, I've abandoned all my theory. I've abandoned any semblance of theory. I just I do things strictly off ear. I don't even use a keyboard. So
me too.
The actual musical application is not necessarily there for what I do.
You don't use a keyboard, so you do you just like track everything in the program?
Just punch them in.
Yeah, that's
my
dope.
mouse.
That's dope. And you like to use Fruity Loops?
Yes.
What specifically about Fruity Loops do you like so much?
Well, I've been using it for like 15 years, and I know all the shortcuts. So for me, it's just the workflow. Like, you can get great results in Ableton, Logic, all these different DAWs, but I just prefer Fruity Loops because it's what I like, and I'm able to really, really quickly produce music.
Yeah, it's the same with me. Like for Ableton, I just started with Ableton because that was the program that my friend was able to download back in the day, and just kind of stuck with it. But about like workflow, I think that's one thing that sets you apart from a lot of other artists and a lot of other producers in the area and probably around the world is your workflow, your ability to create beats quickly and quality at the same time. What are some tips that you would say has helped you to get to that level of workflow?
I mean, being a fucking dork, honestly, just literally studying the shortcuts, spending time, my free time on YouTube and Google, researching how to get a better mix, a harder hitting mix, whether you're looking at your kicks, your hi-hats, your instruments, there's always an area of research that you can dig into to learn.
Yeah.
I'm at a point, it takes me like 7-8 minutes to make a beat that's fully mixed and radio ready.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah. And especially when, we were just talking to Nelson Johnson about like publishing, and he was talking about how it's, a quantity game. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Music is a quantity game, and obviously the quality has to be there, but with quantity, you're able to, make a lot more money, and you're able to get a lot more placements, and you're able to, get a lot more music synced or whatever you're trying to do. You know what I mean?
More.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what has helped you get the placements that you have got? Because I've seen you working, for years and years, and you've always been working with the top artists in the area. But really recently, you have, stepped up your game, and you're working with some of these bubbling, up and coming national artists. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And it's incredible. So, what has led you to that point?
I mean, back in the day, you mentioned my Riff Raff placement, which was major. It actually came up in my memories on Instagram today. I was thinking about it like half an hour ago. That was banging out the emails off email lists. But nowadays, I'm building relationships in such ways that they introduce me to other relationships. It's the way that I have a relationship with Babytron, with Gmaccash, with me. You know what I'm saying? With all these people. Yeah. It has nothing to do with my beats. It has nothing to do with the music that I make or that I like. It's the people that I know that put me in the room in the situations that allow that to happen.
Absolutely. And you're building strong relationships too, because I know you start relationships and you grow relationships, you know, as your career grows, and you've always been one of the best at, you know, seeing good talent and, you know, helping them out and giving them beats or making them part of what you're doing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think gives you that eye and that ear to just pick out, you know, good up and coming talent?
I like good music, and I see potential in a lot of people that can be developed. You know, I see a lot of artists that are out there with an amazing sound and drive and work ethic, but they're just lacking the relationship with a producer that's going to be able to really turn them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I tend to hone in on those people.
Yeah, for sure, because it's tough as a rapper, you know, coming up and not necessarily, if you don't know how to make your own beats or you're not, you know, pro at it, you know, it's tough you can't just find beats on like YouTube and stuff like that anymore, because all these all the poppin' artists in, you know, Detroit and Flint they're coming out with so much new original music all the time.
Yeah, daily.
You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's so hard to keep up with, but as an artist, it seems so hard to keep up with. So having a relationship with a producer like you that's just constantly cranking out beats, people can constantly go to you, hey, what are your new beats that you made this week, you know, and get some new ones. That's super dope. Where is the best place for people, like, if they wanted to buy your beats, like, how would they do that?
I don't do any kind of online stores. I don't upload to my YouTube or SoundCloud anymore. You just got to talk to me. It's the way that I really get stuff done, and it enables me to build relationships like I was talking about. You have to go through me to get to my beats. You know what I mean? So, like, for instance, I just sent out a Dropbox pack of like 40, 45 beats to a new client. Instantly, he's like, I need these ones. What's the price? We exchange numbers. We've started a relationship. You know what I mean? But you got to go through me.
Yeah, that's dope. And, you know, I could easily say you're one of the most successful beat sellers in the area over the past few years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what are some tips, you know, besides obviously relationship building is important, you know, in every aspect of what you do. But are there any other things that you've done that you feel have like helped you get ahead in the aspect of actually being able to sell your beats and make money from it? Because I know there's hundreds, thousands of people out here with beats on their laptop that they want to sell, but they might not know like how to get to that point where they're sellable or where they're connected with the artists that want to buy them, you know?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I have a sales background, so kind of closing deals is just kind of like an innate kind of skill I have. Not that I'm saying I sell beats to like just do that, but when it comes time to collect my payment, it's very easy for me to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You just got to ask and stand firm. You know what I mean on your value. And the thing is, you know, nowadays, because I have been charging what I charge for long enough, and you hear my music everywhere and on the radio and all these things, people don't mind. But initially, it was a bit of a struggle selling beats. So I'll say that if any producers are listening to this and you're having trouble selling beats, maybe lower your price a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe work on your relationships a little bit. Throw some beats out there so that you get some music circulating that's going to make other people want to buy your beats. You know what I mean? You just got to look at it objectively. What do you want out of it? What can you literally do about it to make it happen? You know?
Absolutely. And, you know, talking about relationships, like you've built so many great relationships in the scene, both in Ypsi and in Detroit. You know, what are some things that have helped you build these relationships? Like I saw you, you know, go from, you know, being in Ypsi, like I'm pretty sure I remember you like announcing you moving to Ypsi. I don't remember how long ago exactly it was.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years ago. That sounds about right. And, you know, and since then I've really seen you consistently, you know, build an empire of relationships in the hip hop scene, you know.
That's crazy to think about. I don't even like think about it, man.
It is, wild. Dude. I mean, that's and it can be seen, you know, and it's inspiring, really. But what helps you be, you know, honestly, like so likable? Like, how do you, you know, build those relationships and maintain those relationships in a successful way?
I don't know, man. I'm a really positive guy. I got a very outgoing personality. I'm very confident, and it's not really dry when I talk to people. You know what I mean? I'm not like, hello, do you need any beats for your next project? You know what I'm saying? Like, treat people like people, talk to them like people. Call people and check up on them. Shoot them a text. How you doing today? How's the kids? How's the family? Blah. Like it's everything beyond the music that strengthens the music relationship. Which sounds kind of backwards, but it's really not when you think about it. People want to be treated like people, not just like someone who's going to spend money with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm the same way. Like anybody I spend money with that I have a relationship in that fashion, I appreciate people that treat me that way as well. So I'm beholden to reciprocate that energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, in this scene too, it's like there's so many just friendly people, you know what I mean, and so many great people in the music scene around here. It's not hard to build a friend group around other people doing music in the area. That's for sure.
Facts.
And so that's super dope. What initially drew you to producing over just continuing the music that you were doing, like choir and band and stuff like that?
Bro, it was crazy. Like senior year of high school, there was like 3 or 4 bands in my graduating class, punk bands, hardcore bands. We were playing shows at like the Token Lounge in Livonia. Any venue really that would take us, we would play for free. And it was just a constant thing, always playing shows. And the summer that we all graduated, like all the bands broke up. I had no one to jam with. And I was hanging out smoking weed with a couple of my friends that were in another band. They're like, hey, man, we just made this like rap tape. You want to hear it? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. And they started playing it for me. And I don't remember the music specifically, but I recall asking them, like, how are you getting like these beats? Where are you getting these beats? And it turned out that one of the guys, James, he was making them. And I was really intrigued by that. I was like, can you show me how you're doing that? And that's when he introduced me to Fruity Loops, gave me my first highly illegal copy of Fruity Loops.
It happens, man. You got to start somewhere.
But that's literally how it started. I had no one to jam with. My friends started playing me these beats on Fruity Loops. I'm like, shit, I got to do this. This is cool.
Yeah, that's dope. And, is like, I've heard a lot about like the Detroit sound and the Flint sound having bass in like the Fruity Loop sounds. Are the stock like Fruity Loop sounds? Is that a big part of like the Detroit and the Flint sound?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the legacy drums that come with Fruity Loops, especially 12 and 20, a lot of those sounds are very viable for making Detroit beats. Now, I personally opt for 99.9% third-party sounds, but I do dig into the legacy kits. They got the little clickies and certain hi-hats and certain claps and stuff that really sit in that pocket for the Detroit or Flint style. I'd agree.
Yeah, that's dope. And I mean, you were, an early adopter of learning how to create beats in that style. And, I think that's super dope because it's literally this wave now, tidal wave, that's just crashing over the entire industry.
You know what's really crazy is I actually just started making city beats little over 3 years ago. I absolutely refused to make them because everybody was making them, and I was so dumb and hard-headed, like, I'm not going to be like everyone else.
I was the same way about trap music, honestly, even when it started, like when that whole wave, you know what I mean? I'm like, and then it's just still around today. It's like, fuck.
But it was crazy. I was in the studio with an artist that I used to work with. He's not active nowadays, but Ty Doc.
Yeah.
And he came in.
He's dope. He's really dope.
He is dope, but he came in and he threw fucking like $500 on my computer, like, whomp. He's a Primo. You have to make me some Detroit beats. I just bought a feature off of Peezy. So the first Detroit
that
beat
song
I
was
made,
fucking fire.
Right? That was the first Detroit beat I ever made. I got a Peezy feature on it.
Oh shit, yeah, that was your Peezy track. Oh dude, that song was fucking dope, and they released it on some channel. It was like for Show Mag or something.
It was
like
for
that.
Show Mag, yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking sick.
Fire.
That's dope, and yeah, it's like it's incredible, and I've seen it coming, but like I mean, yeah, even 3 years ago, like maybe everyone in the scene was hip, but like at that point, Detroit music as a whole was still really blowing up. And now today, I mean, with Sada Baby getting the Nicki Minaj feature and, everything else that's going on with the pop-in Detroit artists, it's part of mainstream culture now. Like
it's the next wave, bro. It's like every day I'm seeing some shit. Like I was on Instagram and I saw Vezzo had shared off of Moneybagg Yo's live. He was like listening to Vezzo and reciting the lyrics.
Oh
like,
shit, that's big.
You see what I'm saying? Like people are really, really, really starting to jump on, I don't want to say the Detroit wave, but the Detroit sound. Like nationwide, I have clients in fucking Tennessee, California, you know what I'm saying, all over the country. They're just like, man, I just need some Detroit shit. No one around here makes that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah, it's just the new definition of fucking hard. You know what I'm saying? It's the new definition of dope. And, I mean, Detroit is going to be like Atlanta, like the next like major music hub. I really truly believe that. I believe that we're still at the start of something like crazy and huge. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you something that I can't get too much into, but I'll say this. Okay? watch Babyface Ray and watch GT and watch this deal they're about to sign.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's fucking it's incredible, man, and you know it's opening the floodgates for people in this area, and it's just really a beautiful thing, you know. It's an honor really to be so close to, you know, I grew up like in Ann Arbor, you know, and so I never and I didn't travel to Detroit a lot until, you know, my college years. I went to college in Detroit, but it's so dope to be close to such a huge fucking iconic you know, platform for artists in general, you know.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet. I'm not gonna lie. The city turning up right now, and it's got me more than inspired.
Yeah, and you tapped into some of that culture, man. You really did. You fucking implanted yourself in the cement of that culture, especially like with your Blender tape, dude. Like, honestly, that shit is so fire. Anyone that's listening right now, go search Primo Beats on any platform. You can find the Blender.
Do it on iTunes so I make more money.
Yeah, do it on iTunes. You know what I'm saying? And even just, I was listening to the intro with DJ BJ.
Fire, right?
And just getting like goosebumps, bro. Like, holy shit. Like when that drop comes in and then he's like, oh yeah, that's that shit. Like, oh fuck, man! Like,
man, shout him out too. DJ BJ has done so much for me, and he's just such a warm, you know, welcoming, nice guy. Very sharp, very about his business, but he's a great guy. Like, I literally, I just texted him one day, like, hey man, I'm making this little tape. You know, will you do me an intro? He's like, what do you mean an intro? I'm like, think like mid 2010s, like Jeezy or some shit. Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah.
That's like that exact, like that's the exact feel I got out of it. And like, honestly, as an artist, like, the hardest thing is like you want to be able to create intros like that and cool skits and things like that, but you know it can sound like stupid or like you don't want it to, you don't think it sounds dope, you know what I'm saying?
But corny.
Yeah, it might be corny or something, but when you get fucking DJ BJ to do that shit, like, holy shit, that was legit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that really did remind me of that early 2000s, like, mixtape vibe, like, DJ Drama, like, that type of shit, man.
Oh, yeah, he nailed it. He nailed it.
Yeah, that was super fire. And, like, also, you know, you've had your beats playing on the 107.5, like, Friday Night Cyphers as well. You know, how did that come about?
I mean, earlier you asked me about, you know, getting out there, and we talked about relationships. Well, here's an instance where I did this, and I met somebody. So, artist that buys beats off of me, I've produced, I want to say, half a dozen songs for him. His name is Kane Perez. You may or may not.
Yeah, I know so Kane, yeah.
Kane was part of the core at the 107.5 Cypher, meaning he could go on the air whenever he wanted. He was up shopping beats with me one day, and I just winged it out there. I'm like, hey, man, can you ask DJ BJ if I can send him some beats for the Cypher? I sent one email with 3 beats. And then BJ hit me on Instagram or some shit, like, what's your number, bro? Like, we need to.
That's amazing, dude.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, that's
shout out
so
Kane
dope.
Perez.
Yeah, shout out Kane, man. That is super dope. You know, what initially, like, you said you've been in Ipsy for 5 years. Like, what initially brought you to Ipsy, and how has being in Ipsy like affected your music and your career?
It's changed everything. I mean, I came out here for music in the first place, and just the timing of everything is so crazy. Like, I partnered up with Sweet 328 Studios.
Yeah, shout out Sweet 328, man.
Yep,
they be banging it out over there.
Shit, man, who you telling? Shout out Dave. And anything that happens in that building, Dave's done it personally. You know what I'm saying? He's like handyman Dave. But I got in the studio there when I was living in Garden City, and I got an opportunity to get a house like 5 blocks away from the studio. So all of a sudden, you know, I buy this house and I'm locked into a situation where I'm literally 5 minutes away from the studio.
Hell yeah.
And it's enabled me to be there constantly, meet a lot of people, constantly create, be inspired. People constantly just giving me motivation and, you know, big ups and all that. It's changed everything for me. It made it made the music business real for me.
Yeah.
When being in this environment consistently, you know?
Yeah. Hell
and the
yeah.
money's really very, very real.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Real.
And I mean, talk about Sweet 328 a little bit. Like, you know, I think that I saw that online as really like one of the first hubs that I had noticed where like hip hop artists really, you know, built a home for themselves in this community. Like, what's that all about? Like, how do artists go about, you know, booking time there? Like, what's it like?
Shit, there's like 8 or 9 of us that work there. So if you know someone, you book time. Otherwise, you can look us up on Google or Facebook or Instagram, and the phone number on there is going to go straight to Dave's phone. He's going to put you through, you know, who you need to speak with. But we're highly accessible, and it's just like it's different than other studios. It's a very kind of family, you know, environment. A lot of us have known each other for years. And those of us that haven't, we welcome you with open arms, regardless of how much money you're spending or what your intentions are. You know what I mean? It's just, it's the vibe. It's the environment as a whole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't make noise. We make music.
Yeah. That's super dope. And is that where the blender was recorded at?
Some of the tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like 5 or 6 different engineers take part in this project. Shout out my dog, Roadrunner Costa. He recorded about half the tape. C Mills did a bunch of the tape. I recorded some of the tape. Dave Blue recorded some of the tape. And I'm sure some other people did too, but I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. And what was it like? I mean, you linked up with, artists like Sam B yourself, like huge star on Netflix, Icewear Vezzo, signed
He's
to
on
Motown Records. Yeah.
Really?
He's on Netflix, bro. You didn't know that?
No, man, what?
He's on this show, I forget what it's called, but it's this rap show on Netflix, bro, and he rapped on there. So he's that was major, and the songs that he is on the tape like are so
Fire.
hard, dude. Like those beats, especially too. I mean, his voice and his raps are amazing. Like he's super talented. But like those beats are fucking next level, dude.
Well, I told him, I'm like, it's a Detroit sound for the tape, so obviously we're gonna go that direction. But I told him I was gonna craft him some beats that had a Detroit vibe without Detroit sounds necessarily. You know what I mean? They got the same bop, same vibe, and man, he just mangled those beats, bro. Fucking mangled them.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, they were fire. There was so much swag in both the beats and the fucking words and everything in those songs, man.
Sir.
What has it been like linking up with, Sam B yourself or Icewear Vezzo or Shitty Boys or all these other big artists that are popping? Like, what has been your experience linking with these artists?
I mean, it's like, I'm a real regular person, you know what I mean? And the thing is, these people are real regular people too. Like a lot of people look at them and their celebrity stature and that sort of thing. But like when I'm in the room, like even like Babytron, I seen Babytron and Stan Will a couple days ago at the Hip Hop Lab studio. It's just like, what up, bro? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to the store. You need something, man? Like just totally normal shit. It's like, I haven't been in the room with Vezzo yet. I might be a bit starstruck then, but otherwise, no, I just treat people like people. You know what I'm saying? I don't put anybody on a pedestal.
Yeah, that was dope. And as soon as his voice came in on that track too, you're like, oh shit, that's Vezzo for sure. Yeah, that shit is super tight, dude. I was blown away when I first like saw the track list for that shit. And I heard you talking about Blender too. What's going on with that?
It's in the works. I got about 9 records done so far. I've recorded all of them myself.
Hell yeah.
So I'm getting more of my engineering bag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I've been doing a little Pro Tools thing for a couple months now, kind of starting to get on the level.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, as artists, we always, can expand our revenue streams to different areas, you know what I mean, to be able to eat from our art.
And I just want to control more of the process. I don't want to have to outsource something that I can do that's going to help me literally make the music with the people. I'm a record producer. I need to be able to literally fucking produce records.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I mean, I know that like I started making beats before I knew like mixing and before I knew like the engineering shit. But then once I learned the engineering aspect of it, my beats instantly became way more professional. You know what I mean? And it makes it so much easier to get that sound that you want. By diving into those sorts of things,
100%. Knowledge is power, man.
Yeah. What are some tips for producers like about getting placements like with these artists? Is it just like through the people that you've known that, you've connected with them, or?
Here's the trick. Let's say you want to get a beat to Icewear Vezzo. Now, you can bang your head against the wall hitting his DM, and he probably doesn't follow you, so he's never going to open it up. Which is 99% of the time, or you can figure out who's around him and acquaint yourself with them. For instance, DJ Ill Will, who's his road DJ. You know what I'm saying? I got a good relationship with Will to where if I need to get a beat to Vezzo, I can go through him. You know what I mean? Get to know the people around the larger artists that you're trying to get your beats off too. Because the truth is, these larger artists might fucking love your beats, but if you have no way of communicating with them, who knows?
Yeah, no, that's super dope advice. Because I mean, people are way more likely to listen to someone that's close to them than just some random DM. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's where the relationship building comes in, and just good relationships. I feel like sometimes you know, people that get some notoriety just, you know, think they're the shit, and they can be assholes to people and stuff like that because, you know, of one thing or another. But it really shows that, you know, just staying humble and just being a nice dude, you know, and being friendly to people pays off over the long run because, you know, you're not just burning bridges along the way.
No, you
know?
got to be a decent human being first and foremost. If you're a piece of shit, you know, the world's going to treat you like a piece of fucking shit. If you're a good person and you're honest and you work hard, good things are going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah. Primo Beats said it.
Yes.
But one of your biggest fucking placements too was that coronavirus song, dude, and that shit went fucking crazy.
Bro, I had just touched down in fucking Miami when he texted me the song, and I just stood there for a minute after I listened to it, and I texted him back like, bro, like, this is gonna be fucking huge. He's like, I know, I'm shooting a music video in like an hour.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, what? And yeah, I was in Miami enjoying the time of my life as that bitch was going up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
I'm taking like, you know, I'm on Snapchat drinking Coronas with coronavirus playing and shit. I'm like, God damn, man. That's crazy. That is a big ass record for me. And that really helped solidify me in the Detroit scene. I had like, RJ Lamont reached out to me. He said, man, you got one of the biggest songs in the fucking world right now. He's like, I just want to let you know, I respect you and you should come make some beats with me and all this type of thing. Hell of a reached out. Like, everybody fucking reached out to me.
Dude,
and it is people that I revere and I look up to, you know, applauding me. And it just like, it was like, wow, like this is real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's it like having, you know, idols like that, you know, reach out to you and let you know that you're doing the right thing and that, you know, you're kind of like doing the same thing as them. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's a trip. It's like RJ invited me out to his studio in Southfield, and you know, honestly, I was really nervous. Like, I was extremely nervous, and we made some beats, one of which ended up being the one that Vezzo did on my tape with Roadrunner Acosta. But I remember hitting him up maybe like a month ago, just chopping it up, talking, and I'm like, man, I can't believe how nervous I was when I came and cooked up with you. He's like, really? I couldn't even tell. He's like, why would you be nervous? And I'm like, you're fucking RJ Lamont, dude. I've been listening to your shit forever. And you know what he said to me? Like, honestly, and I got the receipts on it, and it blew my mind. I don't necessarily agree with it. He said, Primo, technically, you're a better producer than I am. I'm like, what? Like, no, I'm not. You know what I mean? It's just weird. Like, these are people that I genuinely look up to that are doing much, much bigger things than I am. And it's just so cool to be able to just reach out and say hi, send hell of a song. Like, hey, man, what do you think about this? You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah. That's incredible.
It's cool.
I mean, that's super dope. I was just in an internship and I had the opportunity. I was working out of like the same studio that Helliva was at for a little while, and you know, I never really got a chance to talk to him, but he was always bringing in like young kids and shit, like, and that was probably 4-5 years ago or something like that. You know, before the T Grizzly track, and it was like, but he still had that fucking energy about him, like something was about to pop.
Helliva been the man, bro.
Yeah,
he been the man.
Yeah, I mean, him and T Grizzly with that shit, they really got like a lot of these eyes that are now like on Detroit. That really started, you know, this whole process. And RJ, I mean, I've been hearing RJ on Sada Baby tracks like for years. You know what I'm saying?
He's Sada Baby's executive producer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Absolutely. Most of Sada Baby's music goes through him. Yeah, that's what he explained to me.
Yeah. That's super fucking dope. I mean, Sada Baby, I'm like such a huge fan of Sada Baby and, you know, what he has done with like the Detroit sound and how he has evolved like as a fucking artist.
Dude's a monster.
Yeah, he's a beast, and he really just shows like what skill and work ethic can do. Same thing as you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of artists can get the notoriety, a lot of artists can get the fame and the eyes on them, but someone like Sada Baby or someone like Primo Beats, when the eyes get directed onto them, people go, oh shit, that person is fucking talented as shit, you know, because of the work. Like sometimes, like Lil Yachty, for example, like he blew up when he was super young, before he had, you know, he's super dope and he's killing it. He's reaching out to all these Detroit artists now and Flint artists, and I love what he's doing, you know. I love what he's doing. He's solidifying himself as one of the fucking greats, like right now, just because of what he's doing with Detroit and Flint.
It's crazy. I love Lil Yachty's Detroit flow. Fucking man, what?
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought Lil Yachty would go from what he was to what he is?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, Detroit and Flint, I mean, let's not give Lil Yachty all the credit. Detroit and Flint are giving Lil Yachty so much cred right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, super cred.
Big time.
You know, but the fact that, like, when he blew up, I mean, people were like, this is trash, whatever, just because he hadn't had those years and years and years of putting in that work. But when someone like Sada Baby or Primo Beats blows up, like, that shit, all that work, all that talent is already there. So you instantly get shot to, like, up to the top. You know what I mean? And
Crazy.
And that's what I saw happen with Sada Baby. That's what I saw happen with, like, Joyner Lucas. You know what I'm saying? Yep. When he, you know, I was watching him before he blew up. And then, you know, as soon as the eyes get on someone that's, like, that talented, it's just
undeniable.
It's undeniable, and it points just back to the work ethic and just being, you know, keeping your nose to the grindstone and fucking working. You know, what are some tips, like, that you think, because I feel like you have a really, like, consistent sound, but also, and, you know, you've used these different sounds, like Detroit sound or, you know, trap music or whatever you make to help shape your own kind of sound and your own kind of thing that's going on. And I saw you post about this the other day. You know, how can a producer create their own type of sound like that, you know? I
mean, you got to put your 10,000 hours in, just like anything else. You got to be a master to truly, you know, have your own sound, unless you're the luckiest musician alive, which I'm not aware of any, you know what I mean? But it just comes down to practice. And you find those pockets that you like to be in. You find those different melodic components that you like to integrate, your different ways of hitting your drums, mixing your drums. That's your sound, you know what I mean? And my sound, like, I feel, honestly, whether it's a Detroit beat, a trap beat, an R&B beat, you know, a pop beat, like, you know, it's my shit. From the way my drums hit, from the way it's all laid out. And that all came from doing the 10,000 hours a couple times over. That's really the only way. Just practice and research.
Where do you get that work ethic that you have, man? Like, where do you get the work ethic to work and then, you know, work for hours on beats and just go? You know what I'm saying?
I'm a workaholic, man. But the thing is, it comes with a consequence. Like, I don't have a fucking life. Like, literally, I don't watch TV. I barely go out. I don't go to the bar and none of that shit. I'm at work. I'm at home sleeping or taking a shit. I'm at the studio. Like, period. And I came out here to be at the studio, and goddamn it, I've been in the studio a lot.
Yeah, I've seen it, man. I've seen it. It's been incredible. And, you know, I've seen it on social media, and I feel like over the years you've been super consistent on social media, and it's helped you a lot.
Oh, it's huge. My business would be non-existent without social media. Non-existent.
Yeah. What are some of the things that have helped you succeed on social media over the past few years?
I mean, finding things that will attract people to me personality-wise, which will then lead them to my music. Or people that enjoy my music, giving them content that's going to make them connect more with me on a personal level. Like, I'll do those skits or post something funny or whatever. Like, that's all very targeted. That's not just me being a jackass or whatever. Like, I'm very selective about what I put on my Instagram because it's a whole different audience. But I've pulled a lot of money off of Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, you know what I mean? Just by, you know, being more personable. Because what I see, and I counsel a lot of producers on, is I see these guys with pages and, you know, their profile pic is like a black screen, and then all they have for their entire page is just beat snippets. Yeah. And it's like, okay, so these people...
Yeah, that looks great.
People are going to click on your page and not know who you are, what you look like, what you're about, where you're from. Like, that's a selling point as well when you talk about building a client base. You know, you connect with people on a personal level, build that relationship. I can do that without ever meeting somebody just through my page. They feel like they kind of got an idea and they can hit my DM, yo, Primo, send me some beats, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's easier to sell someone something when they know you and when they like you and like what you're doing. And it's hard for someone to get to know you over social media if all you do is post, like, beat snippets that don't even have a picture on them or anything like that.
Do you have a family, bro?
Yeah, no, and I've seen that, and that's super smart. You know, putting out, like, because also, like, the comedy, you know, comedy is a big aspect of social media, and comedy also is a big aspect of rap too, honestly.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, you've put out some comedic raps yourself.
Yes.
Is that something you're gonna continue doing in the future?
Well, I got a video shoot next Friday, so yeah.
Hell yeah,
I got some shit in the chamber. You know, I stay doing songs here and there. I'm very inconsistent as an artist.
Yeah.
But I do stay making some little songs.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to be like really consistent with like recording, shooting videos, dropping songs. Like,
It's expensive too.
yeah, it's expensive.
Thank God I
as
sell
shit.
beats because that covers a lot of my costs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very expensive, and that's why it's so incredible. Like, you know, what these artists are doing, setting the bar so high, just dropping so many songs left and right. You know, but I guess, I mean, they're able to get paid for features and shit like that, which is really nice.
You got to find a way to recoup. If you're putting money out, like in any business venture, you need to find a way to recoup. Otherwise, it's just a constant money sink.
Yeah.
And that's not sustainable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How long have you been rapping? Is that something you've always been doing, or is that something that you just picked up recently?
No, a couple years back when I was in the studio with Bones and Secret, you know, formerly when I was in the B team and all that, we would just get fucking drunk as hell. And one day I'm like, oh, I'm getting in the booth. I'm gonna say something. And so I just tried it out, and then I put it down for a long time until I did my Fat Bitch song, which was a blast. Like, that shit happened so random.
Yeah, that's a hit.
I made the beat, and I was just sitting there in the room by myself, just higher than dog shit. Like, damn, I want to rap about that. This time I fucked a fat bitch. It's a true story.
Yeah.
I didn't write that down. I went in the booth with my wireless keyboard, and I just spoke my truth into the microphone. 100%, bro.
Oh, that's amazing, dude.
100%
You didn't
true.
even write. You didn't write shit for that. You just went in there and did it off top.
That's how I do
fucking,
like all my music, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
not like, oh, I don't write my raps. Like, no one gives a fuck. But I'm a punch-in rapper.
No, dude. Honestly, like, these Detroit artists and Flit artists are like, just make me feel like I fucking suck because like I've been writing my raps all this fucking time, you know, and they're just like, yeah, I'll just go in the booth and fucking just do it all. You know what I mean? And it's like a whole different style of making music almost, you know?
Mean, the thing is though, like, I admire the confidence of those artists because the thing is my situation's really unique. I record myself. What happens is I'll make a beat and I'm like, damn, I got to drop on this. I will lock myself in the room privately and I'll turn all the volumes down except in the headphones, and I will make my music by myself in solitude.
Yeah.
But if I had to do that with an engineer and I kept having to punch in, like, sorry, bro, so one more time, bro.
Yeah.
One more, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I'd feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
But since it's me, I don't feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
But all those other guys, I admire that. They, you know, that's their process.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's amazing. I mean, it's like, Lil Wayne used to always say like, I don't write shit down and whatever. And it was almost like hard to believe. But now there's like so many artists where that's their process, where they just go in and do it. And I mean, it's incredible because like, it's hard to even line up. Like if you stop one time during a verse, like sometimes it can be hard to line it up and make it sound like similar. Like, you know, it's because you were a little farther from the mic or one thing or another. So it's incredible that they can do that and, you know, make it just sound coherent. Like it's just like one verse that they spit right through, you know?
It's crazy, but it works. Like
Yeah.
all my music, for instance, like that's how I've done every single song that I've put out. Like all of them.
Yeah, yeah. I want to try doing that more because you know my process has always been, you know, just writing it down or you know, and then just spitting it. You know what I mean while I'm listening to the beat. So I gotta try that. What is your process like with making beats? Like, do you have like a specific process that you stick to?
Yeah.
Like. And yeah, what is it?
I make the melodies, I make the drums, I arrange it, I mix it, I throw my tag on it, I bounce it, I'm on to the next one.
So do you make the melodies first every time?
I mean, like 99.9% of the times I'll do the melodies first.
And they can kind of inform like your drum patterns a little bit, like when you're bringing it in.
I mean, I don't really know. Like I work so fast. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, this sounds cool. Where's the drums? Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking dope. You know, what I usually do my drums first, and I feel like that that's how I started, and it kind of made it harder for me because it's like, you know, when I do the melody first, and you know, it's easier for me to just pick a sound and like kind of feel it out and like feel the vibe. And then like come in with some drums that fit that vibe, than to, you know, come up with the drum beat first. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the beauty of music, really, is there's no right or wrong. You know, and you can do it and approach it any way that you want, as long as the mix is good and it's got a vibe. Like you're there. You know what I mean? There's no right or wrong in this.
Yeah. That's dope. What You know, I've also seen that you're big on like business and shit. And obviously, like, I mean, you've been getting money, you know what I'm saying? So what are some business tips that someone who's a producer of music, like what are the business basics that a producer should know? You know what I mean?
Communicate effectively and often. Be honest. And when you say you're going to do something, fucking do it. Like people will judge you by those standards after their first instance of dealing with you and every instance afterwards. Be honest, do what you say you're going to do, and communicate a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. What's next? What's next for Primo Beats? I know, you know, you said I saw a post the other day about something crazy that's about to happen. And you know, you might not be able to talk about that, but what's next that you can talk about, you know, that's coming in your world?
God, I really want to talk about it, but I can't yet because we haven't announced it. But I'll say this. I'm ironing out a relationship with one of the premier studios in Detroit, and I'm going to be taking on a role in that studio that's going to further inject me into the scene. So I'll still be involved with Sweet 328 for sure. That's home base. But I wish I could say more. I really can't, but it's massive.
No, that's super dope, man.
It's massive.
That's dope. And I mean, it's all, you've been talking about relationships, and you know, that's exactly, it seems like what it's going to help that even more, you know, build more relationships for you. And I mean, like I said, Detroit, I really believe in Detroit and think Detroit over the next 10, 20 years, as far as the music scene, is about to become a real fucking mecca. Yeah, the next Atlanta. So I really, you know, it's super dope what you've done, and I really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it more than you know, for real. Appreciate
no
it, man.
problem. What are your tags like? What's your Instagram, you know, Twitter, stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Find me on Instagram at Primo Beats with 2 S's, PRIMOBEATSS, because it's Primo Beats, you little bitch. And that's pretty much it. I don't even use my Twitter no more. Find me on Instagram, follow me, give me 10K.
Yeah.
I need 10K.
Hey, yeah, and fucking, is that chain you got right there? You just got that, right? That's a new thing.
I've had it for a couple months.
Couple months. Fucking flash that to the camera. That shit is so fucking sick.
I love it.
Yeah. I think you're the first one to come in here with that drip, bro.
We got Primo Beats, bitch.
Yeah, it's Primo Beats, bitch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that Beat Money boy. That shit is no joke. For real. Good shit, man. I appreciate you coming on. We'll talk soon. Hopefully, you know, we can do it again sometime when, you know, after some other big things happen, because I know you got some more big things coming.
I'd love to come back. Thanks again, man. I really
dope.
appreciate it, bro.